did everything I could for everybody, now it's all about me.
It's all about me, yeah.
And out of everything that I lost, can't complain, cause it's when I found me. Some people tried to tell me I ain't listen.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl E. Smith. I'm back with another video. If you are a part of my Mellow Clan family, gang, thank you so much for returning. Thank you for coming back and rocking with me time after time. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to Mellow Talk. This is a safe space I created for us to come and discuss various viewpoints, opinions, and perspectives regarding true crime stories. Now, I want to thank you all for being here, because fact of the matter is, you could be anywhere in the world, but you right here chopping it up with me, and I'm digging it. So go ahead, take this time and give this video a thumbs up. You guys, I need you to go crazy on the thumbs up button, all right? Also, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications, all right? So that way when I drop new content, you'll be the first to get it. Now, there's only one rule to the channel, and that is, as we discuss our various viewpoints and opinions, make sure we do it with respect. I do not want my platform to be one that we come to spew hate to one another. This is a no-hate zone. So, before we get into today's story, I do want to let you guys know that everything that I put on this channel is for educational purposes only. This is research that I have compiled online into a video for your entertainment, all right? Thank you very much for tuning in once again. Now let's get into today's story. Today's story is about a man by the name of Gregory Green, all right? Mr. Green was born in December of 1966. Now, unlike most of the people that I cover on this channel, I don't have a lot of background information on him. Okay, I don't know where he's from, but I do know that he was living in Michigan. Okay, now in his late 20s, he met a young lady by the name of LaTanya. All right, later they would get married and she would become LaTanya Green. Now, LaTanya had 2 kids coming into this marriage. Later in 1990, she would be pregnant with his child. Okay. Now, there's not a lot of detail about their marriage either. Not sure if they had a good marriage, if they had a bad one. Not sure. However, it is said that in 1991, that she told a friend that she would be leaving him. Now, she was skeptical that he may be on some type of substances because of his behavior, turning angry, violent, etc. Okay? So she told her friend that one day after church, she was going to pack up a bag, and after church, she was going to leave him. Now, unfortunately, that was the last time that her and her friend spoke, because before she was able to make that escape, one night, Mr. Gregory makes a call to the police department, and when they answer, he tells them, "I killed my wife." And when he told them that, he told them that she was in the kitchen, that he stabbed her multiple times, and he went and sat on the porch and waited for the police to arrive. Okay, when the police arrived, they found his deceased wife in the kitchen with a body full of stab wounds. The baby that's inside of her is deceased, did not survive the attack. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. They take Gregory in. Remember, like I stated, she had 2 children coming into the relationship. So it is reported that one of the children were away at the time, and the other one just went and hid in the closet. Okay. Now, he's arrested and charged for killing his wife and unborn baby. All right. The first thing he tried to do is play the insanity card. Oh, I'm insane. I got mental issues. That's why this happened. However, they were able to conduct an evaluation, a mental evaluation on him, and it was determined that that was a lie. He was convicted and sentenced to 15 to 20 years in prison for the murder of his wife and unborn baby. We have no motive. We don't know why he did it. We don't know what drove him to do it. We just don't know. So he started going up for parole about 2004. Okay, he was denied like 1, 2, 3, 4 times. All right, he was denied parole 4 times. All right, and the reasons why they denied him was for different things, like just not showing remorse. He didn't seem remorseful about what he did. He also did the victim blaming thing, like blaming her for what he chose to do to her rather taking responsibility himself and things like that. It was almost like he really didn't think what he did was wrong. They even described him as lacking empathy. So again, he just had no remorse for his wife. He didn't feel bad. He didn't seem to care about what he did to her. So it's just like, no, this man doesn't need to be released. No parole for this guy. However, Gregory did have a support system. All right. His family stood 10 toes behind him, and they went hard for him. His parents, his siblings, his pastor, whoever. Okay. They did whatever they needed to do to push for his release. All right. Even after he was rejected from the parole board so many times, they started to write letters to the board explaining how he's very much so sorry and remorseful for what he did, explaining that he's gotten closer to the Lord and that he is a changed man. All right. He can do better. He deserves a second chance. Okay. Now, there was a pastor by the name of Fred Harris. All right, Fred Harris definitely pushed for his release. All right, Fred Harris wrote a letter to the board stating that he has paid for his lack of self-control and the damage that he has caused. And he labeled this incident a mishap. Okay, and he says that, Greg has paid for it and he definitely deserves to be released. All right. Now, Mr. Fred Harris is a popular pastor in the community who takes a particular interest in prison ministry. So this was perfect for him. He knew Greg and his family, and he wanted to fight for him to make sure that he had a second chance. Now, while Gregory was in prison, it is true, though, he in fact did do some things for his self-improvement. All right. He took mental classes. He also read the Bible a lot, which of course is typical from, someone who is in prison and who is going to be there for a while. Okay. So there was a time in 2008 that he went up before the parole board again. Now, at this time, they had to gather all the letters. They had to gather the staff. They had to gather the information to present to the board to evaluate the time that he has been in prison. So they're evaluating him, and it's looked at as, Gregory is potentially a good candidate to make parole at this time and be released. He had no bad behavior. He hadn't gotten into anything. The staff spoke highly of him. They described him as respectful, that he got along with everybody. There was one fight reported in 2002 that he got in, but other than that, he had great behavior, and there was nothing, no reason to deny him at this time. Now, it was some concern as to where he would go. If he was released, where would he go? But of course, he has a family that supports him. His mom and his parents said that he's more than welcome to come and live with us. He has a church family. He has, jobs lined up. He is prepared to, and he has the support to come out of prison and be a much better man the second time around. Now, there were 3 parole board members, all right, and the way that they were basing his release on was the majority vote style. There were 3 parole board members. 2 of them had already made a decision of yes, that he could be released. So, of course, that overrode the one person who did not say yes, and he was released from prison. So, again, you have a man who made a mistake, He went to prison. He had good behavior. He did what he was supposed to do. Now he has a second chance at life. This is just great, right? And, of course, the story should end here, right? Happily ever after, right? We should be done with this story. But no, there's more. All right, he gets out. He's working. He lives with his mom. He has a supportive church community. Everything is everything, and he's doing well for himself. All right. Now, to even add to the goodness, in 2010, he was able to fulfill all of his parole obligations. So he is now off parole. Now, during the time of his release, he has been getting quite close to the pastor's daughter. The pastor, Fred Harris, who fought for his release, his daughter, Her name is Faith Harris, and she came into a relationship with him with 2 children as well. She had a teenage son by the name of Chadney and a teenage daughter by the name of Kara. Kara is her name. Kara. I hope I'm saying that right. But anyway, all right, so they fall in love, okay? And in 2010, in December, they would get married. She now becomes Faith Green. They now live together and end up having 2 children of their own, okay? They had 2 girls by the name of Kaylee and Coy, all right? Now, again, like I said earlier, this is like the perfect victory story. You got a man who was troubled in some way, obviously. He kills his wife and his unborn child. He goes to prison. He is the perfect prisoner. He has the best behavior. He gets out, gets another chance at life, and he's killing it. All right, he got the support. He got everything that he needs, and he's killing it. All right, now he has found new love. The pastor that fought for you has given you his daughter. You now are a father to 2 of his grandchildren, all right, and a stepfather to 2 more of them, all right. Y'all are still attending granddad's church as a beautiful family. This is a beautiful thing. Now, there's not enough information for me to get into too many details of it, all right, but it was said that Greg started to show some signs of aggression and anger. All right, so in 2013, even though they had just married in 2010, in 2013, Faith has filed for divorce. She tried to get protective orders against him, just because of the rage and the anger, behaviors that he was displaying. Okay, now she described the time that he was in a fit of rage at home with her and her, and the kids. And he had kicked the couch with their baby on it. Okay, could have hurt the baby. I don't know if he hurt the baby or what. Okay, he started to threaten her and tell her if she didn't leave, that she would really regret it and things like that. She didn't leave. She didn't call the police or anything during that time. And she said the reason that she didn't was because, he was already threatening her. She surely wasn't gonna leave and leave her children there with him. Now, instead of just trying to go and handle it right then, this episode with him and him being angry and him, just threatening her and all of this went on for hours. Okay, it went on for hours. Finally, after things died down, she went and tried to get a protective order against him, and it was denied. Now, I was able to read some of the protective order that she filed against him, but I saw nowhere in there her mention what he did before her. Now, true, we don't have to hold a person's past in their face, but I feel like in this instance, that is vital information that should be included in a protective order that you're seeking from this man. So remember, in 2013, she filed for divorce, okay? But that's now null and void because she never went through with it, never followed up. She didn't do anything. She just left it. So that doesn't even matter anymore, okay? So he must have started being sweet to her again or something. He got her back because now she's not trying to get protective orders. Everything is everything, obviously, right? Until August of 2016, she is now filing for divorce again. So in late September, just a month after her second divorce filing, all right, he comes and gets her, takes her down to the basement of their home. The first thing he does is zip ties her hands and her feet, okay? He then proceeds to shoot her in the foot. So not only do you have someone who is bound by their arms and their feet and can barely move anyway, now you shoot her in the foot. Now she can't walk. She can't do nothing but just be in pain and suffer. All right. So then after that, he takes a box cutter, y'all, a box cutter, and he cuts her from ear to ear. Okay, I'm not playing. From this ear to this ear, he cuts this woman and cuts her several other places. Now, their 2 youngest daughters, Kaylee and Coy, these two little girls, he goes and gets them and puts them in a car, okay? Nothing wrong with that, right? But what is wrong is that this car that he set them in, he did something to the car and rigged the car so that the exhaust and the carbon monoxide will go inside of the car, okay? So he sits the little girls in there. Carbon monoxide goes inside the car. Of course, they can't get out. Poisons them to death. They're deceased, all right? So after that, all right, he goes and gets the teenage children that are not his, okay? The two little girls, those were his and Faith's children together, all right? The two teenagers are Faith's children that she brought into the relationship. He gets them and takes them down to the basement where their mom is, all right? And he shoots them both execution style 3 times in front of their mother, killing them. The mother, I mean, can you just imagine what she's dealing with? Because she's on the brink of death herself. I mean, she's been shot in the foot. She's been cut up. She's been cut from ear to ear. She can't move. She's bound together. And then she have to watch you kill her 2 children that aren't yours. So messed up. Just so messed up. He then goes and just like before, he calls the police, tells them, hey, I've killed my whole family. And he goes and sits on the porch and wait for them to arrive. The police arrive and they describe the scene as a gruesome one, finding first the 2 little girls, Kaylee and Coy, deceased inside of a car. All right. They then go inside the home and go down into the basement where they find the 2 older siblings shot to death, as well as the mother, Faith, there holding on to life. She was rushed to ICU and had to stay there for a while. So this man, Gregory Green, has killed his whole family, and he's done this not once, but twice. All right. I mean, the pastor who fought so hard for him, wrote letters, gave his word, put his name on you, went to court on your behalf, prayed for him. You know, it's crazy. He gives you his daughter for you to turn around and harm her and 4 of his grandchildren. Like, I can't imagine how he must feel. I mean, what? You know? And the pastor, he labeled his previous victim and that situation a mishap. Now, not is this in any way here to say I told you so or laugh at him or anything like that. It's just that we have to be mindful of how we look at things, because I'm pretty sure that now it's his daughter and his grandchildren. He doesn't look at it as a mishap. So, you know, my heart goes out to him. I've searched high and low. I cannot find anywhere where he's even made any statement, where he said a word of anything. You know, my heart just goes out to him and his mental health and his mental space. I just can't imagine how he must feel, you know, even as time passes about this. You know, it's gotta be a hell of a feeling. Now, Faith did manage to show up to some of his court proceedings. And while she was there, you know, she was in a wheelchair. She had been injured pretty badly. Again, cut from ear to ear, cut in other places, shot in the foot. I mean, she's not herself, of course, you know, after going through such trauma. She appeared in a wheelchair with a black hat and veil over her face. It was like she didn't want to be seen, but she was there in attendance at some of the court proceedings. During his sentencing, though, she actually spoke, and here's some of what she had to say.
I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied with the outcome. There's no punishment that fits the crime. Not even torture and death would be justice. Your justice will come when you burn in hell for all eternity, for murdering 4 innocent children, all because you're insecure as a man.
She went on to describe him as a monster, devil in disguise, telling him that he is now forever exposed. You know, it's a terrible thing, you know. She also talks about some of the things that she deals with in the aftermath of this.
My short-term memory is gone. Doctors tell me it's my brain protecting me from the memories of my children being shot in their heads right in front of me, while I was gagged, duct taped, and zip-tied. Every time I find strength to get out of bed, as soon as I walk, I'm in extreme pain, sharp pain, from where he shot me in my foot. They don't know if I'll ever walk again without pain. Think about that for a second. Never being able to walk without pain. My doctors say I have post-traumatic stress disorder.
Now, y'all, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If I must give my opinion, I would have to say that there's no way that I would have married a man with a past like his. And it sucks because, you know, are you supposed to judge people by their past? Not necessarily judge, but it's cautionary. It's definitely something to know. You know what I mean? I just don't, I mean, think about how many people right now who are in relationships that are dangerous. You've seen all the red flags. You've seen all the signs. Some of y'all's guys are already getting mad and slapping y'all up and knocking y'all upside the head. Y'all, listen, it gets worse. You cannot ignore the signs. That is not love. I know a lot of, especially the young girls, when a guy hit her upside the head or push her into a wall or something, you know, she thinks that's cute and she thinks it's love. It's not love, baby. He's going to kill you at some point. Somebody's going to get hurt. So please, 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 people, you know, even with the wife, Faith, she filed for divorce one time and she didn't go through with it, but she knew she should have. She knew she should have and she didn't. And she let him back in and it cost her all of her children. The price to pay for that was expensive, because I'm pretty sure that even though she's still here, she wished she would have died too. I know I would have. You could have just killed me and let me go with my children, because I don't know how I would live with myself after the decision I made and it affecting my whole family like that. And I mean, again, y'all, what would you do? I mean, is love enough? Can you look past a person killing their spouse and child before and still have a relationship with them? Should people be judged by what they've done in the past, because people can really change and become better people? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that the pastor, do you think that he should have fought for him as hard as he did? Like, I really want to know what you guys think. And again, the only way that I know is if you guys talk to me in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Again, this was a crazy story. My heart goes out to all affected by this tragedy. You feel me? Again, I want to thank you all for being here, because the fact of the matter is you could be anywhere in the world, but you right here chopping it up with me, and I'm digging that. So before we get out of here, guys, please, please, please take this time and go crazy on the like button, man. It helps me in the algorithm. You feel me? It helps the channel out. Go ahead, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, so that way when I drop new content, you'll be the first to get it. All right? And also, before I go, I do want to give an explanation to my Mellow Clan family, y'all. I'm so sorry that I have not uploaded in over a month. Y'all, at work is where I normally prepare my videos, and my workload got much bigger, and the time for me to prepare my videos got really scarce, okay? So I'm back. I'm doing my best to get through this tough time. But if you guys could just help me out by liking this video and subscribing, we gonna get it to the point where I ain't gotta worry about that other issue no more, because I'm gonna have all the time in the world to focus on y'all and y'all only. I love y'all, man. Thank you for tuning in. Bring your butts back. I'm out.
Welcome to the Autumn, yeah, yeah. Where we